Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 BMW M4 Competition. This is the convertible, of course. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Definitely take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. So this M4 is finished off in black sapphire metallic. MSRP is $101,000. Now underneath the hood, this is powered by the 3-liter twin turbo inline 6. It's paired to that 8-speed automatic, pumping out 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,300-pound convertible from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It has a top speed up to 174 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city, 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 189.1. It has a width of 74.3, a height of 54.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.7 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this M4, let's talk about some of these subtle updates for the 25-year model. So really up front, the only difference is the new headlight design. So this still retains LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. There's the blue accents to indicate that this still retains the laser light technology, but the rest of the front end is really no different. We have the massive kidney grille with the forward-facing camera, plenty of cutouts to provide a lot of cooling. There's all the parking sensors, the lines in the top of the hood there, as well as the inlets on both sides of the bumper, and a really nice aggressive design for the front with all of the lines just giving it that great and distinctive look. As we work our way to the side, this has a staggered setup for the wheels. They're 19 by 9.5 up front, 20 by 10.5 in the rear. This model also has the M brakes that are finished off in blue and a really cool design for those wheels. The M4 comp badge is just behind that. This also has the body colored mirrors that also have the turn signal and a camera system. And as you can currently tell with the convertible, the top is down. I think it gives it a really nice look, but you can also start to put the top up and down with the key fob. So if I hold on the lock button, we can start on that process, so that way you can not only see that process, but we'll take a look with the soft top how this design looks with the top up. But it's a really quick process, and you can do this in the reverse direction. It will also put the windows up as well. You can have the windows down and the top up too, just to get some more of that airflow. But with it up now, I think it has a really good look. BMW did a great job. We don't have a hard top that I know some people do like from previous models or previous years with BMW convertibles, but the soft top definitely gives it a good look. Now in back, the biggest difference, just like up front, taillights now. We have a different design for the LED taillights. Still retains the backup camera with all the parking sensors, and then that quad tip dual exhaust in that lower diffuser. Now as we work our way to the cargo space, you can use the button on the key fob or that one up underneath, where you still have a good bit of space. Now with the top down, you have to have this divider down, so that way it knows that you don't have items up there. And as you can tell, I had my backpack in the back with the top down. Now when you put the top up, simply just fold that up, and that allows you even more storage. You can even fold down the back seat there just to get a little bit more space. So you can pull on that lever in order to do that. And then we have a little bit of space on both sides, so you can still use this as a practical vehicle with the top down, which is nice, and then you still have additional space when the top is up. Now as we work our way to the interior, we have a very nice design. This has the Harman Kardon audio, there's brushed aluminum accents, all of the window adjustments, you have your memory seating controls. You can even put all of the windows up and down with just one control, which is nice. There's a trunk release and then a little bit of storage. And then we have the black leather seats with the M4 badge and all of the adjustments for them since they are power operated. Now if we push that backrest forwards, the seat is actually going to move by itself now, allowing us space to hop into the back. Now at 5'10", honestly, it's not all that bad. So as you can tell on the passenger side, there's a little bit of legroom. We have air vents in the middle, and then I am almost sitting upright. I do have to slouch slightly, but I could ride around town, be comfortable in the back, have the armrest here. You have a little bit of storage down below, one speaker. There's also cup holders in the middle, And then this is how you can gain some access into the back. We do have a wind divider that is stored right there at the moment, but you can fold the rest of this seat down if needed. And then a look at visibility from the back. You do have that pillar there, but it's still not all that hard to see around. We have the large windows, of course, to give you a lot of visibility. And then obviously when the top is down, you have no obstructions over each shoulder. Now there's also an automatic or a manual adjustment for the leg support on that seat, and we have some nice materials for them. Now as we work our way to the steering wheel, this is a big change. We now have a flat bottom design for this M Sport steering wheel, which I think is a great touch. There's the red stripe, BMW colors are stitched within it, and then we have carbon fiber accents for the entire steering wheel. Now on this right side, there's volume as well as Bluetooth and voice commands. Left side, all the cruise control settings. You have massive carbon fiber paddle shifters, and then M1 and M2. But let's fire this up and take a listen to how the M4 sounds. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster, on the left side there's miles per hour along with fuel. Right side there's the tach along with engine temperature. And then you can also scroll through content within the middle. Just by pushing on this middle button here, you can bring that up. And now you can go through all of this information. So just depending on what you would like to see, you can quickly go through all of this. Now you can also change the gauge cluster with how it appears just by pushing on M mode. So push on M mode, you can go from road to sport, and by going to sport, it is going to change where now you have what gear you're in right in the middle, miles per hour in the tach, so basically the driving information or the performance oriented info. And then you can also see how the vehicle is currently set up over on the far left side. So it's nice to be able to do that depending on your driving. Over on the left side, there's all the headlight adjustments. There's also a little bit of storage down below. We have one air vent with the new air vent design. So this is pulled from the X7s. If you've seen the new design for the X7s, we do have a similar air vent design now, which is nice. And then for the infotainment system, this is the all new BMW technology, where on the home screen, you can scroll through all of this information. So it just depends on what you need. You can also add some widgets as needed. So you have quite a lot on that home screen that you're provided with. Now you can also click on the home icon to get back here. You can push on those 4 squares now to go through all of these icons. There's Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have your climates, your exterior lighting. You can go through quite a lot with all of these apps. Now you can also go back into your phone and your navigation and pull those up in full screen. In the lower section, you do have shortcuts to all of your climate features. So you can get into your fan speed for your driver and passenger. You have some more controls right in the middle, and you also have adjustments for the heated seats as well as your temperature dials. Now there's more carbon fiber for this model just above those air vents with a cool intricate pattern right there. We have power and volume as well as tuning and defrosters. There's even carbon fiber for this lid that reveals wireless charging in the back. There's also auxiliaries and cup holders. And then you do have shortcuts for this infotainment system. So if you don't want to use it as a touch screen, you have all of this that you can scroll through and use as needed with that rotary dial. Now let's put this into reverse, where we go to the left and up. So we have that 360 camera system with some top-down views on one side. You can also get into the 3D view, so that way you can see around the entire vehicle, and there's also a top-down view as well. And then you have drive. So if you put into drive, you can also push on the shortcut for that camera system, so you can pull that up in full screen. And then there's park and adjustments for the transmission on the back, so you can further adjust that depending on your driving. There's traction control, parking sensors, engine start stop, and then there's also the 2 different modes that I showed earlier, as well as your setup. When you go into setup, this is how you can further adjust M1 and M2. So this is currently how the vehicle is, and then we have the M1 and M2 to further go through that. So you can hear the exhaust note change. You can also adjust your 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive for this model. Now auto hold is behind that with the e-brake. There's the top operation, and then we have plenty of storage in the center armrest there, and then a lot in the glove box too. Rear view mirror is up top, and then we have the dome lights too. And look at visibility with the top up. You have a little bit of a pillar there, but your side mirrors are going to help significantly. And then you can easily look over this left shoulder, so you really don't have any blind spots. As we set up now behind the wheel for the BMW M4, this is always a fun sports car to drive from BMW. And the fact that the 25-year model has a slight increase in horsepower. It's about 20 horsepower, so it's not crazy. But even still, with a mild acceleration, this is a quick car. We've been able to drive the M4 through mountain roads, so if you want to check out that separate video, this is just a phenomenal performance-oriented vehicle. And the fact that you have so many different ways that you can drive this, I've talked about that a lot in several videos, as far as how quickly the transmission shifts, the modes that you're in, whether you have the four-wheel drive or even have part of the two-wheel drive system for your drift analyzer. This is just a fun car to drive, and the fact that you can get the coupe or the convertible, just depending on your preference, you have a lot of ways that you can spec this. Now, I will say, for some of these slight updates for this M4, steering wheel has got to be my favorite. I love the notches on both sides, and the flat bottom is just something that us car enthusiasts want. You want something that looks a lot more sporty than just a traditional circle that you get in pretty much every vehicle. Giving it that flat bottom design not only makes it easier to enter and exit, but it also gives it more of that cool factor with that more race-inspired steering wheel. But everything else is pretty much unchanged for the 25-year model. As far as just daily driving this, it would make for a great daily driving coupe or convertible. You have a lot of space, you have extra room in the back there, or you can throw in an extra person, and you have the trunk space there to make it practical for just everyday use, groceries, items like that. But you also have a highly performance-oriented vehicle. Woo. It's always fun to drive. Handling is superb. And it's also pretty quiet too. Even in the convertible with the soft top, it's a well-insulated soft top. So even out on the highway, obviously depending on the wind, there's really not a lot of road noise or wind noise. So you're buying a luxury vehicle like this, that's what you would expect with the design in the soft top too. So this would be great to drive every single day. And it's really comfortable. I have no complaints. Even I've had it in the Sport Plus mode for pretty much everything at the moment. You can tone it back if you want, just put it more in the efficiency setting. So if you want it to be not quite as stiff, a little bit quieter, you want the shifts to be a little bit smoother for just daily traffic, rush hour, things like that. It makes it, you can cater it to the driving conditions that you are in. So it makes it a lot nicer to drive because of that. It's not always going to be shifting very quickly if you're not into that for the day. And from second gear, here we go. You can feel some of those shifts, which just adds to the drama and the characteristics of this vehicle. Now, if I tone back the shifts, they are going to get a little bit smoother. So it's not a harsh shifting car by any means, but when you have those shifts a little bit quicker, you can feel that feedback in the shifts. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the 2025 BMW M4. Certainly a great place to be for the day, and obviously if you're owning this, a fantastic view while you drive this every single day. We have that all-wheel drive system, so you can drive it in inclement weather like today, even with some wet conditions, just to give you a little bit more grip. Seats are so comfortable though. I really like the position that they have. And it's so much fun, even at normal speeds here. But I like this. If you're in the market for a performance-oriented vehicle, but you want something that is geared towards being luxurious too, BMW has some great options. They have the M2, they have the M4, there's also the M8, slightly bigger, a little bit different in the power compared to the M4, and then obviously different than the M2. So you have some great options, whether you want manual, you want automatics. Definitely a fun vehicle to drive. And it's practical too. So if you need a little bit larger vehicle, you don't want just a 2-seater, this is a great option. And the fact that we do have the convertible. Now I won't put the top all the way down, but what I can do is put all 4 windows down. Obviously this is going to be very similar as if I had the top down, but you can do it either way. So if it's maybe too hot for the day, you want to keep the top up, you can still have that cross breeze and that top down experience, and then obviously put the top all the way down if you would like to. That is going to wrap it up though for the 2025 BMW M4 Competition. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this for me today. Definitely take a look at their website. That link is down below. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.